What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Central, and today we are going to recap Game 73 of the regular season, where the Knicks lose 130 to 126 to San Antonio Spurs in overtime. I don't know what to say. I'm just so annoyed with this game. As you can see, I didn't do the usual thing where I put the stats up for all the players because I don't need to put anyone up outside of our favorite Jalen Brunson, outside of our MVP Jalen Brunson, because he's pretty much the only one that showed up tonight. There's really not much to talk about here other than the fact that I'm annoyed because how many times did I say that they got to take advantage of teams like this? And they didn't. Now they fall down to the 4 seed, which, don't get me wrong, not a big deal in retrospect or in hindsight, whatever you want to say. It's not the worst thing because you still get home court, but you got to beat the freaking Spurs. Have to. This is the worst team in the damn West, one of the worst teams in the entire NBA. And Victor Wembanyama had a unbelievable game. Credit to him, but the Knicks need OG Anunoby back badly. They need Julius Randle back badly. This is every single post-game conversation, but the size is killing them. And here's my problem, though. By the way, before we jump further into everything, leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. Want to run through the intro quickly here. Besides all that, the problem is when they get to the bench, it's like I want to cry because Bojan Bogdanovic was terrible. Shake Milton got meaningful minutes in this basketball game. And then Jalen Brunson, for whatever reason, I cannot for the life of me understand. So Tibbs is perfectly okay with running guys into the ground all season long. And instead, in the fourth quarter, when Jalen Brunson was cooking and carried the Knicks that entire third quarter, he elects to take Jalen Brunson out to start the fourth quarter, only for him to go in not too long after. And then either way, the game went to overtime, so he had to play extra minutes regardless, where this all could have been avoided if he just started the fourth quarter and the Knicks maybe actually squeeze out a win in regulation, and we don't even talk about an overtime game. Instead, no. Tibbs decides to take him out. I'm sorry, that aggravates me to no end. I cannot rationalize that decision at all, considering the fact that the bench gave nothing in this game. The only other guys that really gave an impactful performance in this game were Donte DiVincenzo, and even he was questionable to say the least on the defensive side of the ball. He had a couple steals, which was nice, and he came up big. It was either in the third or the fourth quarter he came up big with some of his defensive efforts, but he wasn't driving to the rack pretty much this entire game. Didn't draw a single foul in this one. Not to say that he had a bad offensive performance. He still put up 20 and was over 50% from the field and from downtown. I'm not complaining about what they got from him. Josh Hart also had a very solid performance. There are times where it's annoying because it's like, hit a damn shot, dude. But, I mean, that's pretty much about it. Like, Deuce McBride was not good. And what did I say last video? That the games that he's off, you want to vomit because he's missing wide open threes. He had a wide open 3 to end the game, and he can't put it down. That could have won the game there for the Knicks in regulation too. Couldn't do it. And he had a couple big impacts on the defensive side of the ball. I won't take that away from him. He had 4 steals. All right, but he's got to be hitting shots way more. And I'm not asking him to do what he did in Toronto, night in and night out. You got to give 15 points or something like that. Like, that could be the difference in this team winning or not. Hartenstein got bullied all night long. Precious Achiuwa, when he was in the game, got bullied all night long. At the end of the game, down to the damn wire, this game. This was an exciting game if you're a basketball fan. Down to the damn wire. Tibbs puts Achiuwa in there to get a late offensive rebound in case they miss the shot. He gets it, and then he rushes the pass to Donte DiVincenzo, and it goes out of bounds. This was in overtime. Precious did not have a good game. Mitchell Robinson, he was all right, but I mean, he had 12 boards, But my problem is that anytime there was a chance for second chance points, he had a hard time capitalizing on that. And just in general, this team had a very hard time, it felt like, capitalizing on second chance points. I mean, they had 18, which is more than what San Antonio had, but it felt like they did struggle a lot because they were getting a lot of boards in this game. But despite Victor Wembanyama having a great game, and they still couldn't find a way to get more second chance points out of it. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just annoyed. Like, this was a game that I penciled in as a win because you got to win this game. And the fact that I'm even talking about how this team needed Randall and Anunoby against a bottom-feeding Spurs team to begin with is just sad in general, because it's like, all right, say those two do play the game, probably does make a big impact, but like, if you're playing a top team, I don't know. Like, they ruined what was such a special performance from Brunson, getting 61 points on the night, 6 assists. He was even moving the ball well. He had 4 boards too. He had a steal in this one. Went 6 for 6 from the line. Over 50% from the field. 5 for 13, I meant to say, from downtown. He just had such a special night. And late in the game, he got double covered, which is really what killed the Knicks there too. That was the death sentence. Once Brunson started getting double covered at the end of the game, it was over because nobody else was hitting shots in this game. It did not matter. And honestly, Brunson getting 6 assists in a game where nobody else really helped, pretty impressive. I'm just annoyed. I'm just so annoyed because I can't understand efforts like this after they just dog walk Toronto. And they put themselves behind the 8 ball so early in this game. It took them until like the end of the fourth quarter, under 5 minutes, to get their first lead of the game. And at that point, once you got the lead, like, I felt like they had to win the basketball game at that point. They didn't. They had a lot of points in the paint too, which is really surprising considering their size felt lacking. But it was more so on the defensive side where it felt like their size was lacking in this game. And they were late. I mean, that's not to take away from the fact that they're leaving guys wide open for threes also, by the way. Like, they were leaving guys wide open from downtown. Trey Jones went 60% from downtown. Like, I don't know. And that's what the main thing was. Like, at the start of the game, the Knicks just couldn't keep up with the fact that the Spurs were just putting them in a shootout spot here. And they allowed, what, like 60-something points by the end of the first half? And that's really what killed them, too. Because you know what? They didn't even play a horrendous second half at all. Not great, but, like, not horrendous. Like, in a spot where it gave them a chance to win the basketball game. They played a solid enough second half, a respectable one, but the start of the fourth quarter and that entire first half not playing defense ruined this entire basketball game, ruined what was a special performance from Jalen Brunson, and I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed about it, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's all I got for you guys. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.